Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a book haul. I think I have around 40 books to haul with you all. I always rhyme that and it makes me laugh every time. It's not even that good, but I don't know, haul and all always makes me giggle a little. So a lot of these are from my birthday. I had my birthday well, I don't know when this is going up, so it was a while ago. And a lot of these books are from that. A lot of them were also books that were sent to me from publishers or authors, so I also have some of that to share with you all. I think the major focus of this haul is going to be horror and thriller books. We have new releases, we have some books that I had never heard of and I just, randomly picked up because you know how I shop. I just pick up books that I think I'm gonna like and hope for the best. We also have some manga as well, so we got a whole mishmash of things going on, and this is gonna be a long one, so I'm going to just hop right into it because I don't want to be talking for 2 hours about all these books. So let's look at all the books that I got. First up is a book that was sent to me. This is Mina the Cult by Amy McCaw. This is the third book in the Mina series, and I am so excited for this one. I absolutely love this series. It's such a great YA horror vampire story. It's like just a lot of like 90s nostalgia, and it really reminds me of Buffy, so if you love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I feel like you would really enjoy a series like this. It's just been such a good time to read, and I've enjoyed every book in the series, so I am thoroughly looking forward to this one, especially because our characters are going to Roswell, New Mexico for a little bit in this book, which I am very excited about because I'm originally from New Mexico and I have spent much of my time in Roswell. It was one of my favorite places to go in New Mexico. So, also Amy did a little collab with Sinister Signs, which is a small business that I absolutely love. I have a ton of their pieces all over my little library, but this is a little Mina bookmark and I think it is so freaking cute. It looks so awesome and I'm just like so excited. Thank you so much, Amy. I cannot wait to read this one. This one was actually a present from Justin, my partner. He found it, he thought it sounded good, so he picked it up for my birthday. It is Full Brutal by Christopher Triana. I have read from this author, obviously. Gone to See the Riverman is like one of my favorite books of all time, so I don't know too much about this one. I believe it's about a cheerleader. It says that she nosedives into sabotage, violence, and even murder. So I mean, it's gonna be some cheerleader going bad, I guess, like a cheerleader goes bad. I have no idea. It sounds like a fun time. I have another Christopher Triana on my TBR and I really enjoy reading his work. This obviously is more extreme horror, so I don't tend to read extreme horror as much as I read other things, but when the time comes for me to feel like I need something really like gritty and gross and brutal and, traumatizing, I'll probably pick this up. This next one I believe is a new release. I think it came out early or mid-March and it's called Through the Night Like a Snake. This is a Latin American short story collection and I kind of went for it because I thought the cover was really eye-catching, and I don't know, I really like the way this book looks. It's very short, which I know sounds weird, but it's just a very short book. I don't know what kind of stories are in here, but I do love a short story collection, and there actually are some illustrations in here. I believe every story has a little illustration on the inside, which I think is very cool. And yeah, I don't know, it just looks like it's gonna be very interesting and I can't wait to find out what this one's like. This is Clam Nestra by Costanza Casati, I think is how you pronounce this author's name. I hope I'm saying it correctly. This was sent to me from Sourcebooks Landmark. I don't know anything about this except that it is a Greek mythology retelling, I believe. On the back it just says, a blazing novel set in the world of ancient Greece and told through the eyes of its most notorious heroine. This is a thrilling tale of power and prophecies of hatred, of love, and of an unforgettable queen who fiercely dealt out death to those who wronged her. I love Greek mythology. I don't think I've read a Greek mythology retelling. I don't think. I could have and am not remembering, but I don't believe so, and I think the cover is really, really pretty. So I'm really excited to read this. It sounds like something that is a little outside my comfort zone, just because I haven't read anything similar to it, but I think that I would probably really enjoy this. So very excited. Thank you so much for sending this my way. Next up is Revenge, 11 Dark Tales by Yoko Ogawa. This is actually going to be my Patreon book club pick for May. I almost forgot. Yes, for May. I think this is the one that has won the poll as of right now. I actually didn't know this was a short story collection, but it's been on my TBR for such a long time, and I'm just such a big fan of Japanese horror. I just love reading it so much, and I can't get enough of it. So I'm very, very, very excited for this one. It's much shorter than I thought it was going to be, which is good. Hopefully we all enjoy it, and we all have a good book club discussion when we read this one in May. Then the author Hamlin Bird actually reached out to me on Instagram and asked if he could send me some books. The books that he sent me were Wayward Sons, which is having a little bit of a glare on it. Sorry about that. Ambrosia, which I believe is his newest book release. I really like the cover of this one. And then Drencrom. I don't know how to say this one. I don't know how to pronounce that. I think it's Drencrom? Drencrom? I don't know. My brain doesn't want to compute that one. Drencrom, I think. So these three were sent to me from Hamlin Bird. I'm very excited. I've heard great things about Wayward Sons. This one, I believe, is the one I've heard the most about, I think. And everyone I've seen read this one has loved it. But I actually don't know much about any of these three, which I'm kind of really excited about. I love going into books not knowing much, so very, very, very excited about these. Thank you so much, Hamlin Bird, for sending them my way. Then I picked up Anyman by Amber Tamblyn. I have heard so much about this book. I know everyone has absolutely loved it. I have been hesitant to pick this one up just because it does deal with some triggering topics, mainly rape. This book is about this woman named Maud, who is a violent serial rapist, and she goes after men. And this book is talking about how the men deal with the aftermath and how society deals with what is going on. And it sounds very interesting. It does sound like it could be very triggering. I'll have to save this for a time when I feel like my mental health is at a very good point. It won't be too much for me, so I'm excited to read it because I've heard great things, but I will have to be mindful with this one. Then I picked up Foe by Ian Reid. I love Ian Reid's writing. He just, I don't know, it's very captivating. It's very easy to get sucked into. I feel like all his books are very quick to read as well. I'm Thinking of Ending Things is one of my favorite books. I have read another one of his books. It wasn't as good as I'm Thinking of Ending Things, but I've heard great things about Foe. I believe this is more like sci-fi, which isn't usually my thing, but I do want to give this a read. It's also a movie now, and I do want to check out the book and the movie. I want to see how like they compare and contrast. I don't know. I just think that would be fun. I've heard great things. Don't know anything about it. This is one of those books where I want to go in completely blind, so I have no idea what the plot of this one is. Then I was sent The Haunting of Velwood by Gwendolyn Keist. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that author's last name correctly. I have no idea. This is from Saga Press. I am very excited for this one. I don't know anything about this one either. A suburban ghost story about a small town that trapped 3 young women who must confront the past if they're going to have a future. This will be my first book by this author, but I have seen their work floating about Bookstagram and Booktube. I just haven't had the chance to pick anything up. So I am very intrigued, very much looking forward to seeing what this one is about, and hopefully I really like it. Then I picked up Cold by Drew Hayden Taylor. I'm gonna be honest, I picked this one up mostly because I thought the cover was absolutely beautiful. This author is Indigenous as well, which is super cool. I do not know much about this one, but it says that it's taking tropes from the murder, mystery, police procedural, thriller, and horror genres, which I think sounds very interesting. I don't know much about most of these books because I'm me. I don't like to read plots too much, but I really like the cover, and I like that it was trying to take on a lot of tropes and kind of like take on a lot of genres at hand and see what it was going to do with that. I don't know, it just sounds very interesting, and again, the cover, I'm a sucker, what can I say? I just had to pick it up. Then I got Delicates by Brenna Thumler. This is the sequel to Sheets. This is a graphic novel. It's a very cute. I believe there is a third one out as well called Lights. Maybe, I could be wrong. I should have gotten the third one as well. I don't know what I was thinking, but I ended up getting just the second one, and I've heard great things about it. I thought the first one was really cute and sweet, and I don't know, I really thought the artwork was beautiful, and I just had a good time while reading it, so I wanted to continue the series. I thought it would be perfect when I don't know what to read and I feel like I'm in a slump. This would be easy, quick, and fun, so I thought this was a great little birthday present to myself. And then Justin also got me for my birthday Goodnight Poon Poon, which is a manga series. I have, I think, all of them, volumes 1 through 7. I will show you the first one here. I've heard a lot about this. I don't actually know what it's about. I've just heard things about it. I've heard it's very depressing, but I've had this recommended to me a lot, like a lot, and it does sound like something I would really enjoy. I love getting into a new manga series, and I feel like this isn't too long that it would take me, you know, forever to read and get through. I feel like I could get this done, you know, just whenever I'm feeling into getting in the middle of a series. But it just says on the back, he wants to win a Nobel Prize and save the world. He wants the girl he has a crush on to like him back. He wants to find some porn. That's what he wants, but what does he get? So I don't know what I'm in for, but I am excited, and I think that I will probably enjoy it. Then I picked up Natural Beauty by Ling Huang. I've heard great things about this one. I know it's about the obsession of beauty. That's pretty much all I know. I think it is more on like the lit fic side. I don't know. I think it also deals with like race and identity, and I've just heard so many good things about it, and it sounds like something I would really enjoy. I love the topic of beauty and beauty standards and the society that we live in being obsessed with beauty. So I am very excited to finally have this one in my possession. I don't think it's absolutely gorgeous. Just such a stunning book, and I hope I like it. The next 3 were books that were sent to me from one of my patrons. Thank you so much, Vanessa. These were a birthday gift, and they're just so sweet, and I really appreciate it. The first book is Midnight on Beacon Street by Emily Ruth Verona. This was one of my anticipated releases of this year. I have heard many mixed things about this book. I've heard a lot of people have not enjoyed it, but I feel like I am gonna like it. I really do feel like it's gonna be something that I'll enjoy. It's a love letter to horror movies. It's gonna be, you know, 90s nostalgia. It's about a babysitter, and I don't know. I just think this is going to work really well for me. So I'm very excited about this one. Little nervous because people said that it's like really boring and really slow and not a lot happens, but I think knowing that going into it, I I might have a better experience than other people. I think Gabby said that it was a little too cozy for her, but I really enjoy cozy horror, so I think this could really work for me. I'm very excited. Then Vanessa sent me Night Film by Marisha Pessel, I think? I think that's how you pronounce his author's name. Again, not sure. I believe this is a mixed media thriller. I also don't know too much about this, but I've heard so many people rave about this one, and I feel like it could be fun. It's very big. It's a very big book. It's bigger than I expected it to be. I actually don't know the plot though. Like, I really don't know what it's about. I have no idea. Yeah, I've heard so many people raving about this one that I got excited and I wanted to try it and check it out and see what it's like. So very excited to finally have this one on my TBR and see what it's about and see if the people are right, if it deserves all its hype, you know? And lastly, she sent me Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. I have heard so many people talking about this one. I feel like this one is probably going to be on, honestly, a lot of people's 2024 favorites. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I have seen so much hype about this book. I believe it's about a home invasion. I think it's a thriller about a home invasion. I heard it starts like right off the bat. It like really starts going quickly. This is also the Literally Dead book club's pick for April, so I will 100% be reading that for that discussion because I want to know what everyone is talking about with this one. Next, I got Isolation, this horror anthology. I had this on my radar last year and I was really intrigued by it because it's all about stories that center around isolation and being isolated, and that is very scary to me and very terrifying. So I figured this would be a fun anthology to get into and see what it's like. There's some names I've seen floating around in the horror genre, so I am very interested in this anthology. Another book that I am very excited about and I've also been seeing a ton of stuff about is Diavola, I think is how you say it, by Jennifer Thorne. This book has a beautiful cover, one of my anticipated releases of this year as well. I've heard it's really interesting and different. I believe it's about a family vacation. I know I read the plot a while ago, but I don't really remember. I just remember there was like a funny warning in the plot. I wonder if it's on here. Yeah, it says, warning, may invoke feelings of irritation, dread, and despair that come with large family gatherings. That's like the one thing I remember about reading the plot of this one is that little warning because it made me laugh. And I was like, oh, I feel like so many people will understand and relate to that. So I think this could be a good time. Very, very excited to finally have my hands on it and see what everyone's talking about. Then I picked up Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. I could be saying that incorrectly. Every time I see this author's name, I always want to say Liz Nugget, and I've accidentally said the Liz Nugget so many times. I think it's Nugent, but Nugget is what my mind goes to when I read it. I'm just like, oh yeah, an N, a G, a T, Nugget, got it. So I don't know why, but that's where my mind goes. This book has been recommended to me by like 4 separate people in the comments of my videos, and then also my patron Kat. She brought it up during our sprints for our readathon this month in March, and she was basically talking about how good it is and how amazing it is, and she got us all pumped to read it, so I had to pick it up and I had to get it. And I don't know anything about it, but I've heard it's a super dark thriller, and that intrigues me very much because I love dark things and I really enjoy thrillers. So I am very excited to see what all the hype is about this one, because if it's as good as everyone says it is, then I must read it immediately. Then I got This Wretched Valley by Jenny Kefir. I've heard so many things about this one. I have seen people giving this 4 and 5 stars, and then I have seen people giving this 1, 2 stars, a lot of 3 stars. I feel like the ratings for this one is all over the place. About these friends that discover this cliff and they decide to climb it and document their, experience climbing it, and then I guess one of them is missing and the others are dead and no one knows what happened to them. I don't know, but I think it sounds good. I know people have said it's not good, But I still have high hopes I could like this one, okay? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it sounds fun and I think it sounds like I could enjoy it, so I'm gonna give it a try. Then we have That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. I don't know how to pronounce this author's name either. I don't know anything about this book. Absolutely nothing. I saw it on Goodreads and I was like, yeah, that sounds interesting. So basically it's about a teen that wakes up on the side of this road and she's bruised and shivering and she has no memory of how she got there or anything, and the police don't know what's going on, but this man shows up and he's like, hey, you're my daughter, I'm your dad, this is your name, but it seems suspicious. I don't know. It sounds good. It sounds interesting. I'm intrigued. Then I picked up Where Sleeping Girls Lie by Farida Abike Imede, and this is the author of Ace of Spades. I think this cover is gorgeous. I didn't even read the plot of this one. I just knew that I loved Ace of Spades when I read it, and I said, yes, please add to cart. I want it. I will take it. Thank you so much. Yeah, this has been on my TBR, in my wish list, I guess, since the author announced it, and I got super excited because, again, I really enjoyed Ace of Spades. It was like Gossip Girl, and I don't know, it just was a lot of fun. I had a great time with it, so I'm very, very, very interested about this one. It takes place in a boarding school, which I really do enjoy the boarding school setting, so I'm very excited. I think a student's gonna be found dead. Sounds like a fun, thrilling mystery to me. So very excited to have my grubby little paws on this one. Then I was sent Kill for Me, Kill for You by Steve Kavanaugh. This is from Atria Books. Thank you so much, Atria. This is a thriller that, again, I've heard so much about. I was actually going to make it my book of the month pick, but I knew that I was getting sent it. But basically this is about two strangers that meet and realize that they have this intense desire for revenge, and they decide to come up with a plan that's basically like, you kill for me, I kill for you. So I've heard great things about it. A lot of people have absolutely loved this book, and I have high hopes. Then I got Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone by Benjamin Stevenson. I believe this is a murder mystery, like a fun little murder mystery. Oh, okay, so the main character is going to a family reunion, and his brother is being released from prison, and the family is gathering to welcome them home, and it's at a remote resort, so you know trouble's just gonna ensue. So this definitely sounds like it's up my alley, and I can't wait to read it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. This is a book that I had on my radar, I think the end of last year. It's And Then She Fell by Alicia Elliott, and one, the cover is a very, very, very beautiful. I believe the author is Indigenous, which I think is why I initially added it to my TBR, because I don't really remember what it's about, but it does say that it is a look at motherhood and mental health that follows a young Indigenous woman who discovers the picture-perfect life she always hoped for may have horrifying consequences. I did not know this was about motherhood, which is my bad. I should have read that, because that is not something that I typically enjoy picking up, but I am excited to have more Indigenous authors on my TBR, so I'm still excited to get to this one. Then I got Lingon by Ai Jiang. I think I'm pronouncing this author's book and name correctly, I hope. I believe this is a ghost story. It's a very, very, very short, but it's been on my radar for a while. I've heard great things about it. People absolutely love this one. I love any kind of haunting or ghost story, so I feel like this will be right up my alley. Then I got Welcome to the Hunnamdong Bookshop by Huang Bo Riem. I hope I'm not butchering that. I really hope I'm not. I did look up a pronunciation, I swear. This is like a cozy Korean story about a bookstore. I think people that are kind of just down about their lives are drawn to this bookstore, and they kind of like take refuge in being around the books and being around each other, and like having someone to like confide in and like, you know, help each other along. So it sounds very cute, very sweet, very heartwarming, a very cozy little book. I feel like this will be perfect when I'm super depressed and I don't want to pick up, you know, like a traumatizing horror novel, I can, you know, pick up a cozy little book about a bookshop, and I feel like I would love this. I also got sent this Unholy Blood Volume 1. I believe this is a manhwa, so I think it is a Korean like comic or graphic novel, or like the Korean version of a manga. I don't know anything about this, but it was sent my way, so I'm very, very excited. I love checking out new like manga, graphic novels, comics, so very excited to have this on my TBR. Then for my book of the month picks, I got Murder Road by Simone St. James. I had to pick up the new Simone St. James because I absolutely adore her writing. This is a very interesting book. I actually have already read it. I read it just a few days ago. I actually just finished it. This is about a couple going on their honeymoon, and they're driving late at night. They're kind of like lost. They pick up this hitchhiker. They realize that she is bleeding, and they start getting chased by this truck while they are taking her to the hospital. And when they get to the hospital, they end up finding out that she does not make it, and the police are basically making them their #1 suspects because they took her to the hospital and they're the only ones there. I love Simone St. James. I love that she has supernatural elements in her thrillers. I just think that it makes it so much more fun and enjoyable. I'm not going to talk too much about this one because I've already read it, so you'll find out in my March wrap-up how I felt about this one. I also got Annibot by Sierra Greer. This is a very interesting book, definitely not up my typical reading alley. It's very, very short, and it's basically about this bot, or as she's called, Annibot. She's designed to be like the perfect girlfriend for her human owner. Yeah, it's basically about like their relationship changing and like her learning and her becoming less and less perfect, even though she is AI. I feel like this is kind of a perfect book to read, especially with AI being such an interesting topic nowadays. So I am very looking forward to this one. I don't know if I'll like it, but I think it'll be just kind of a different kind of read. And then I also picked up Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. This was the book of the year on Book of the Month, so it was actually free. I've never read anything by Abby Jimenez. This is a romance. I've heard great things about Abby Jimenez, and I picked it up because it didn't cost anything, so I wanted to try it out and see what all the hype was about. It won Book of the Year, so I had to know if it was as good as everyone says it is. Another book I absolutely know nothing about. This is Lost Man's Lane by Scott Carson. This was sent to me from Atria. It looks very interesting. I believe it's a thriller. It looks like a thriller. This book does look like a thriller. But it's about a woman that goes missing in a small town, which is something that I do enjoy. I like books that deal with missing people, so I feel like this could be a very fun one for me. So I am looking forward to giving it a try. My Twisted Retreat books for January and February are The Bone Pendant Girls by Terry S. Friedman. This is January's book that I got sent in my subscription. This one sounds very interesting. It's also absolutely beautiful. Like, look at how beautiful this book is. Two mysterious bone pendants pull Andy Wyndham into a frantic search for teenage runaways to save them from a dangerous serial killer before he targets Andy herself. I think this sounds very fun, and I really like the cover a lot, and this edition is super pretty. For February, I got sent In the Roses of Pieria by Anna Burke. Again, a very beautiful, beautiful edition. I believe this is like a queer fantasy romance with vampires. Definitely not up my typical alley, but I think it looks really, really beautiful. And then I got this Sugarcane by Cassandra Celia. This is like a little novella. Don't know anything about this one because there's no plot description. The inside is very gruesome, so I'm thinking it's more on like the extreme side. Then I got sent an arc of We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kleiwer, I think. This is coming out June 18th. So I had this on my anticipated releases of this year, I believe. It says it's The Turn of the Key meets Parasite. Oh, this was a Reddit story. Oh my gosh, I always accidentally do that and find books that were on Reddit first and then become books, and I never noticed that. But it's about two homeowners whose lives are turned upside down when the house's previous residents unexpectedly visit. I think that sounds kind of wild. I'm very excited for this one. I love the cover. I like the glitch effect. It sounds very, very interesting. I'm actually more excited now that I knew it was on Reddit, just because I feel like that's something I do tend to really enjoy. So very much looking forward to giving this one a read. My aardvark pick of the month was Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which I know is not typical for me at all. This is a paranormal romance and it's about vampires and werewolves. I think it's a marriage of convenience between the vampires and werewolves. That's all I know. This is way out of my comfort zone. Way, 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 way out of my comfort zone. However, I love Ali Hazelwood and I've enjoyed everything I've read from her. So I'm not gonna knock it till I try it. This could surprise me and I could absolutely love it. So who am I to say I won't like it before I read it? Who am I to know that? I don't know. I guess we'll find out though. This is Expiration Dates by Rebecca Searle. This was also sent to me by Atria Books. This is about the main character who every time she meets a man, she receives this little piece of paper with the man's name on it and how long they'll spend together, how long they'll be together, which I think is very, very weird. It's a very interesting concept. I think it sounds really good. It's not super long either. I don't know. It sounds like it could be a good time. It sounds very intriguing and it sounds a little bit different. So I'm excited to give this one a read and see if I end up enjoying it. I do know this author wrote One Italian Summer, which is about a mother and a daughter, I believe. I didn't end up picking that one up, but I did hear good things about it, so I'm looking forward to giving this author a try and seeing what this one's like. Whew. All right, friends, that is it for this very big book haul. Told you I had a lot. I went a little overboard because I haven't really bought books since moving and my birthday was here and I just wanted to buy books, so I went a little crazy. I'm very excited to have these now in my collection with the new room that I have to put books places. So let me know if you are excited about any of these books, if you have read any of these books, if you think I will like any of these books, or you want to see any vlogs or videos including these books. Please let me know so I can put them at the top of my TBR to get them read for you all. I hope you enjoyed watching me haul all these books. Let me know if you've hauled any books recently and which ones they were. If you enjoyed this book haul, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. That way I know you enjoy it and I can keep doing book hauls in the future because you know I will. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon linked down in the description box. We can become friends, talk about books, horrifying books, thrilling books, romance books, manga, all that good fun stuff. And with that being said, I hope you are having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!